Good morning. I am at the Raleigh Durham Airport here in, I guess the address is technically Morristown, North Carolina, in between Raleigh and Durham. It's about 15-20 minutes from either town. I am heading off this morning to Las Vegas, Nevada. Been to Las Vegas one time. I do have a layover in Orlando before going out there. I fly out of, I just have recently started flying out of Raleigh regularly. I've flown one or two times before, I guess 2022 when I started flying out of Raleigh. I used to fly out of Charlotte all the time. And if you think of Raleigh as an H, Raleigh has two terminals. Terminal 1, and then cross through the parking deck and you can get to Terminal 2. Most flights go out of Terminal 2. Terminal 1 has Southwest, Breeze, Sun Country, and Terminal 2 has everything else. Frontier, American, Delta, Air Canada, Iceland Air. But and then if you think of Charlotte, Charlotte looks like your hand. If you hold out your hand, you got a main central hub, and then you have 5 different branches that branch off of Charlotte. You got A, B, C, D, and E. I usually always fly out of A. I would say 90% of the time I fly Frontier. I know people hate Frontier. They don't like some of their practices, I guess you would say, for charging you $100 if your bag doesn't fit. But every time I've flown Frontier, you've had a chance. They've given you a chance to check your bag. Before you come through security, you can check your bag. Before they make announcements, you can check your bag. They have always made announcements that I have heard to check your bag to save money. So it's your fault if the bag doesn't fit and you're charged $100. You got to pay for snacks, you got to pay for drinks, you got to pay for your seat, but who's not doing that anymore? I mean, sure, you may get snacks and drinks for free on another airline, but you still got to pay for your luggage, you got to pay for your seat. Even Frontier, or not Frontier, I'm sorry, even Southwest has gone to that. Paying for luggage, paying for seats, So, you can't, to me, that's not an argument. Their fleet is smaller than like American or Delta, so delays and cancellations are bigger, I guess, with Frontier, because they can't just swap out a plane. But Frontier, to me, always has the cheapest flights. I signed up for their Go Wild pass, which you pay 1 cent for your ticket, and then you pay taxes. So a one-way non-stop ticket, let's say from here in Raleigh to anywhere. If they had nonstop to Los Angeles, if you go Raleigh to Los Angeles nonstop, you could do it for $16. If you have a layover, it's anywhere between $24 and $32. So you could go to LA for $32 one way. $64 round trip. Not bad. There can be long layovers, yes, but today I have a very, very short layover. I got 40 minutes. But luckily, the 2 gates are beside each other. I don't have to go very far in Orlando to get to my next plane. Raleigh, sitting here right now looking around, there's nobody here hardly. And in Charlotte, Charlotte is so busy. It's just not worth it to me anymore. I'll drive. Raleigh's about an extra 45 minutes for me for where I live than Charlotte is. So I'll drive the extra 45 minutes to Raleigh. Just because It's so much easier. It's so much quieter. I was through security in like 2 minutes. What took security so long was the computer trying to read my face. That took longer than anything else in security. Um, so I'm sitting here a little early for my flight. Flight leaves just under 2 hours from now. So I'm here early, always early. We'll sit here and drink my Dunkin' and explain a little more to you about the Frontier plane when we get on board. This plane right here is an A321neo. It was delivered to Frontier Airlines back in July, I believe it was, making this plane only about 3 months old or so. I'm sitting in row 3 on this plane, which is extra leg room. It is not the empty middle seat that you have in the first 2 rows. So there is possibly going to be somebody sitting beside of me on this row. This tray table is nasty. It was not clean. And it's a little bigger than the normal tray tables on some of the older planes. It's probably 2.5 times the size. So I'm not going to use that tray table. It's so nasty. It needs to be cleaned. Here is your menu selection on Frontier Airlines. Drinks, snacks, cocktails, unlimited coffees, teas, hot chocolate. And on Frontier, you actually get the full can of drink. I have been on other planes where you do not. You order a drink, and they'll just give you a cup of ice and pour some in it. And here's your basic snacks and your beers, wines, and cocktails. All of it you have to purchase. None of it is free on Frontier. And it's a little expensive compared to if you go to the gas station. And probably about this, well, the cans are $4 and something. And you can get a 2 or 20 ounce in the airport cheaper than that. This flight, it is the A320. This is the flight from Orlando to Las Vegas. Sitting in exit row on this flight, which I think was row 18, 13, 18, somewhere in there. I don't remember right off. The tray tables are actually in the armrest on this plane. Look out the window, look over, sitting above the wing. And the tray tables at the other seats are the normal size 6-inch tray tables for Frontier on this plane.
Ladies and gentlemen.